Hello, Rebel Queens. Okay, so you're on this video because you're afraid of being seen. Maybe you're afraid to be seen because of rejection, because of judgment, because of past triggers that have happened to you that kept you feeling like you needed to feel safe wherever you were, that kept you shrinking into the version of you that you don't really know. If that's you, this video is for you. I get it. 100%. I have had to be in the limelight for the past 16 years, being online, being on a platform where I had to showcase my talents and my skills. And I had to overcome some of those fears of rejection and judgment that I place on myself through stories that were once told to me. As a little girl, I was often rejected or misunderstood. I was punished for speaking up. I couldn't backtalk to my parents because, I come from an Indian background culture. And in that culture, it was if you talk back to your parents, you just got a good whooping. And nobody likes a good whooping. So in life, I often felt like I was never good enough to speak up. But I started to really understand why I was doing that. Then I could change the story. So in this video, I'm going to tell you how to do that. But first, my name is Sherry Brown if you're new to this channel, and I'm a mindset mentor, and I help women reprogram their minds and their limiting beliefs and help them build their dream lives by removing all the masks and telling themselves the real story. So today I'm going to tell you the real story of why you're afraid to be seen and how you can overcome that. So deep down, we all want to be seen. We all want to be validated. We all want to feel like we're not invisible in this world. But sometimes we go back to those stories that say, if we do speak up, then we might be overlooked. And so we start to shrink ourselves, we start to dim our light, we start to close up our throats in order to feel safe, in order to feel like, nothing's going to hurt us. The judgment that, we've placed upon ourselves from others in the past is not going to carry through in this journey of ours because we stay silent. And that is not the way to go about life. I want you to remember something that it's your subconscious mind that is preventing you from showing up. It's your subconscious mind that's saying, no, don't show up, don't speak up, don't oppose, don't give your views, don't give your opinions because it could be controversial. You could get canceled. So, these red flags come up like, don't. And you pull yourself back and you're like, well, I'm just going to sit right here and judge myself. Because that's exactly what you're doing. You're projecting what you believe what others think of you onto yourself. So you just refuse to show up. And when you do show up, you're constantly thinking, what do I look like? What are they going to think of me? How do I stumble my words? I have to be perfect. And that leads to people pleasing. That leads to being agreeable with people, trying to be, appropriate with everything you say and not really speaking your truth, not being authentic to who you are. And we lose that quality of authenticity once we start to overthink about what it is we're doing, how we're saying it, what we show up as, and comparing ourselves to other people, calling ourselves an imposter in those situations. For so many years, I thought of myself as an imposter. I said, I'm going to show up online and I'm going to speak my truth. And when I do it, oh my God, it is stage fright. It is, that camera shy moment. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm just staring at myself right now, but I have no intention in my message. And so you start to freeze, you start to close up, you start to dim your light, and your message doesn't come across the way you want it to come across. And even in rooms full of people, sometimes people have bigger personalities than you, or you feel that way. And again, that is a trigger from your past. Maybe you've been around big personalities in your past that often made you shrink into a space. And so in this real world that we are in right now, constantly putting ourselves in positions where we start to compare ourselves to the people that we're talking to. And so we say, oh, my energy feels small, so I'm going to remain small. And I encourage you to watch this video all the way through because it's going to really shift your perspective on how you can show up as you are despite what people think of you. So as I said earlier, you might feel like remaining small or remaining quiet feels safe. And maybe you were loud in the past and your boldness was labeled as too much. And often women are labeled as too much. We're labeled as misunderstood. We're labeled as, opinionated. And if we have an opinion, that's a bad thing. But I think there's healthy ways of having opinions. There's healthy ways of communicating with people and speaking your truth and having your own opinions in life and showing up with your power without being in that space of like, I have to be in a conflict with somebody or in a disagreement with someone. You can show up with power as you are if you do it with love and compassion, if you do it with authenticity and grace. So how can this show up in your real world? It can include going to meetings, not speaking up during those meetings. It can look like hesitating to post online, because I've done this so many times where I've said, you know what, I'm not going to post that, or I post it and then I hit delete. Have you ever done that? Or you could try over editing your words a lot because you've compared yourself to somebody that might be smarter than you. And so you're like, I don't sound smart. I don't sound intelligent. I sound dumb. So you judge yourself. You're the one judging yourself. You haven't even given other people a chance to judge you before you've judged yourself. A big one for me is I'm afraid to receive compliments. I don't take compliments well. I've been doing a lot better lately, but it's been really difficult to receive compliments. Like people say, oh, your work is so great. You look good today. I love that thing. And then we follow it up with, oh yeah, because this, or, oh no, we don't even say thank you. We just like brush it off like it's nothing. And we don't really celebrate our achievements with people because we're already thinking that we're not good enough and we don't deserve that compliment. So then you divert the attention onto them maybe, or you say, well, you look good today. Well, why not just say thank you? Thank you very much. And let that be it. And a lot of us choose these toxic relationships that reflect our unworthiness, in our romantic relationships with our parents, with friends that we grew up with. There's always situations where we felt unworthy. And all of us, I feel like 99.9% of human beings have felt unworthiness in their life, and we take it in some part of our journey. But the way to overcome this is what I'm going to share with you right now. So number one is you want to name it. Name that fear. Be aware of that fear. Why am I afraid? And I am afraid, and that's okay. Sit with that. You don't need to fix it right now. You just need to be aware that you are afraid to show up. You are afraid for this reason or that reason. And that is the number one step. It's not avoidance. It's not just doing it because, fake it till you make it, people say. It's not doing that. It is being aware that you are afraid of this thing. And what is the safest way to let go of a fear? It is to face that fear, right? But first you must be aware of that fear and just name it as a fear. It is just a fear. It is not who you are. It is an old story that you've been telling yourself. It is just that. The next thing you want to do, number two, is you want to connect with your inner child. Speak to her, speak to him. Let them know that they are loved no matter what. If they were shamed, let them know they are enough as they are. Let them know that their voice matters, that you love them deeply, that it was not their fault that happened, and you don't need to carry that story with you today. Forgive, have grace, have compassion, love that version of you, and let them go. Number three is very important, and they say fake it till you make it. I believe that you have to do it before you become it. Become the version of you that you want to become. And it's embodying yourself in that version of you every single day. The way you show up, the way you speak is enough as it is. You don't have to have these eloquent long words and, this perfect look or this perfect grammar. You don't have to be perfect. Show up imperfectly. Imperfectly is better than perfectly, trust me. Because the people that are perfect or try to be perfect are constantly in their thoughts. They're overthinking, they're halting, they're procrastinating, they're not moving forward, they're not being productive because they're constantly thinking, oh, well, I'm not perfect here, so I got to go back and tweak that, and I got to go back and tweak that. But you are as you are. Just do it imperfectly. And guess what? Make mistakes quickly. Just do it and make mistakes quickly. And then you will learn from them quicker. You will start to improve in your skills and improve in showing up perfectly, and understand that it's your energy that matters. It is not the words you say. It is your energy. It is you. You are enough as you are within the energy that you possess, the energy that you were born with, the energy that you suppressed all those years because someone told you to. Number four is practice nervous system regulation. And I say this to everybody because this is something that helps you make better decisions in life, calms your nerves when you are showing up, when you are speaking to somebody. You get to think clearer. You get to, really articulate yourself in a way that is authentic from your soul. Your soul speaks. If your soul speaks, you speak clearer. If you let your soul speak, people will understand you and gravitate towards your energy without you having to give them what they want to hear and be agreeable to what they want you to tell them. Try things like breath work, somatic breath work, EFT tapping. I always tell people this because Those things really reprogram the subconscious and it regulates your nervous system. Those things go hand in hand in your life because when you show up with soul and purpose and calm, you can really articulate yourself in a way that is so grounded and creates more connection. And number 5 is so important. It is to surround yourself with safe mirrors. By that, I mean people that see you for who you are, that reflect back onto you, that say you are doing enough, you are enough as you are, and you don't need to change any part of you. And they cheer you on even when you fail. They cheer you on even when you fall down and you stumble on your words or you hide. You don't need to hide around those people. And the people that are watching you from afar, let them watch you. Every time I show up online, I say, I know there's probably a lot of people watching me right now, and that's okay if I don't get liked by everybody. And if I'm not liked by everybody, then I've done something right because I am my own person. I believe in my message. I believe in who I am. I don't need to apologize. I don't need to justify. I don't need to change my words. I don't need to be something I'm not. When you stop hiding, you liberate yourself and you give others permission to do the same. You become that mirror for what's possible. And that is where the magic lies. You showing up as you are allows other people to say to themselves, you know what? I wish I could show up like that too. If she could do it, I can do it too. And some people will be really surprised by you when you start showing up and they will want to show up themselves. Be the inspiration for others, be that light for them to be like, okay, maybe I was hiding all along. Maybe, I get permission because Sherry's showing up as herself. Why can't I show up? I have a message to share. I have an intention. I have things that I want to do, but I'm stopping myself from doing that because I'm afraid of not being seen. So if you're feeling this fear, know that it's not the enemy. It is a signal that you are stepping into something bigger than yourself. We don't need to wait to be fearless. We just need to be brave enough to take one tiny step forward today. And those things could look very small. You can say to yourself, maybe I will go online today if you're a content creator and say, I'm going to do a 5-minute video. I'm just going to ramble. I'm not going to be perfect. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just going to show up. I'm going to challenge myself. Use these little things as challenges. Let yourself be seen even if your hands shake, even if your palms sweat, even if your voice is trembling. Let it tremble because the world doesn't need perfect. It just needs the real you. The real version of you. And when you let go of those stories of this person doesn't like me and the judgment from everyone or your family members or your friends, know that they're going through their own internal battles. They're also going through those feelings of shame and judgment and rejection and feeling shame. And shame is something that we carry our whole entire lives, but we don't need to let it control us. We don't need to let the fear control us because that shadow of fear comes with so many other shadows. Shadows of shame, abandonment, rejection, judgment, and those are things that are keeping us stuck. And so today I encourage you and I give you this challenge. Go do this one thing today. Show up for yourself. Make the mistakes. Stumble your words. Show up as you are because you are enough as you are. And you deserve to be seen in all lights. So I'll see you next time. Bye for now.